couldn't be more clear that systemic patterns of secrecy, disregard for the rights of parents and the public, and lack of transparency are running rampant at Chico Unified. From practices with students on campus to the way the board president runs these meetings, the patterns of secrecy and disrespect is not surprising, but it is very concerning. At the last meeting, the board president stated, and I'll quote, "There are children present, and everybody does hear what everybody does say, and we also have a civility clause for this space that succinctly is to please remain respectful and refrain from any sort of bullying, harassment, or otherwise negative comments that may hurt some other folks who may be more vulnerable than others." A couple sitting up front, Jeff and Samantha Shaner, flipped off board members and speakers they disagreed with. Jeff also verbally abused every female speaker who didn't support the parental secrecy policy. The board president did nothing while this happened in clear sight of her. She did nothing to protect those vulnerable women. Nothing. This was stunning given her comments about civility. It wasn't until Jeff said, "F you, you dumb bee," after my speech when I requested intervention and public outrage ensued, and he was finally kicked out of the meeting. These board meetings are the only opportunity the public has to address our elected officials. The practice of tolerating disrespect and disregard for the public's right to address our government officials without harassment is abhorrent. It's curious that video footage from the meeting shows the camera angle changed partway through the meeting so that viewers could no longer see the Shaners' disgraceful behavior. This move suggests the district was aware of the Shaners' behavior and instead of standing up for the victims of bullying, once again employed a pattern of secrecy and lack of transparency. Somebody simply changed the camera angle. Further expressions of the systemic patterns of secrecy, lack of transparency, and disregard and disrespect for parents and the public continued when the board leadership motioned to table the parental secrecy discussion until it could be discussed in private. The board president already had the opportunity to ask questions and discuss the topic for as long as necessary with the district's attorney, Mr. Gant, but instead chose to remain silent and keep these discussions secret. The patterns of secrecy, lack of transparency, and the disregard and disrespect for parents and the public with how these meetings are being run mirror what's going on in practice in Chico's schools within the culture that exists among admin, teachers, and counselors who feel entitled to keep parents in the dark while transitioning students without their parents' knowledge. I am not surprised at all that this is happening, given the patterns that we are seeing in these meetings, but again, it is very concerning.